On this episode of We're No Damn Experts, Rebecca and Madi have a call to artists for a mural that will be on the feature wall in our new office.
Best damn podcast, the best damn town. You want to get up, get ready to get down. With its big wide sky and the wild river Thames. If you want to go, we can take you there to Great Falls, Montana.
Welcome to the greatest damn town in Montana, Great Falls. I'm Rebecca Ingham.
And I'm Maricela Hazard.
And we're no damn experts.
And today we don't have a guest on.
And it's always fun when it's just us in the studio. It's like you don't even have to behave when you're on the podcast now.
I don't have to tell them like the rules and terms of agreement.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys, please remember this is a tourism podcast for Great Falls, Montana.
But it's also so easy to get off topic and all of a sudden just start talking about things that aren't even related to what we should be discussing in the episode.
Well, we do have an outline for today's episode, and I have printed off some papers to kind of give us some idea when we do actually do this call to artists, if you will.
Well, that's a little exciting.
Yes. You guys have heard that we're working on our visitor guide, like, for a while now.
But today should be done.
It should be.
Thank you, Chance.
So we also have other projects in the works.
A virtual familiarization tour for our meeting planners.
A new website, a website for our members of tourism, and then
we are relocating to 15 Overlook Drive.
Applause. Okay.
Now, we've hinted to this move a little bit, and most of the time we've done it pretty facetiously, like, hey, we're going to relocate our offices at some point in the future.
And we're in the works of doing it.
Today, demo started. Today is demo day.
I feel like Chip and Joanna Gaines. I'm going to get a shirt. So while we are excited to go into the new building, it's another project that requires a lot of effort.
It's almost kind of perfect timing for us. Our walk-in traffic has decreased. Not as many people are showing up saying, where are the falls? What can we do in your town? How do I get into Glacier? All those people. Now we'll get smaller amounts of people who come in, but this is kind of our slower walk-in season. And I say that because a lot of people will ask us, well, this must be your slow season. Nope.
So we sent 30 people one day last week to the falls.
Yep.
So it feels like, yeah, that's slow, but we couldn't get anything done.
And we're now starting all of our winter projects, which is also when we'll be moving up to 15 Overlook Drive is in the winter.
Just a little reminder out there, winter recreation also calls you to be responsible.
Yes, just like summer when you're not supposed to pet bears, don't pet them in winter either.
And I was saying to Rebecca, I didn't know that my family needed this sort of recreate responsibly education.
Needed a pamphlet to hand out?
Well, it turns out that my grandma, my grandpa, and some of my aunts and uncle, they went to see the Grand Canyon.
Okay.
And my mom is telling me this story while we're doing a hike while she visited here in Montana. And they say you're supposed to bring a gallon of water per person, wear comfortable shoes, and dress appropriately. And my grandma's like, never mind.
Those rules don't apply to me.
No one brought enough water. My grandma wore sandals. And my grandma had to be airlifted out the Grand Canyon. So just basic common knowledge. People forget it and they're like, no, I don't need to do that. I'm fine.
You're always going to need water. Even in the winter, you need water.
Yeah. So even if it's cold outside and you're like, I'm not sweating that much, you really are.
Was this the first time you'd learned of your grandmother's indiscretion?
Well, I remember the water My mom said that they didn't bring enough water. I did not know about the helicopter ride. So next time I see my grandma, I'm going to have to give her a hard time for it. But my mom is telling me this on the hike that we are taking because we did go to Glacier National Park because the ticketed entry program is no longer in place. So we didn't need a reservation. However, even though you don't need a reservation to access the Going to the Sun Road, it still gets crowded from time to time.
Yep. And so one of the things we learned is they'll look at the concentration within the park. Mm-hmm. And if there's a lot of people concentrated in the western portion of the park, they'll shut that entrance down, not the east entrance, which I at first was like, so I'll tell myself, I'm like, if the park is full, it's full. It doesn't matter whether you come in the east or the west. It's the same road. And then they said to me, oh no, you have all these other things that cause concentration in our area that don't necessarily equate to getting through the park.
Oh.
So they'll allow more people into the east side of the park because usually they're, going to go through Going to the Sun Road instead of the massive amount of people that are concentrated just like in the Lake McDonald area.
Okay.
So it's interesting to me because the west entrance could be closed, but the east entrance could be open.
And just a reminder for those of you who may have forgot your geography lesson from episode 1 or 0, the closest entrance to Great Falls or to Glacier from Great Falls is on the eastern side.
Yep, St. Mary's entrance. And then we also have the 2 other entrances on the eastern side of Glacier from Great Falls, which is St. Mary. No. That is the Going to the Sun Road entrance to Medicine and Many Glacier.
Yes.
And they don't go through the park. They just go into the park, give you great access for trailheads for hiking.
So we're hiking in Glacier. My mom's telling me this, but we did not read the signage when we first got on to the trailhead. It was only supposed to be a half-mile hike to John Lake and a half-mile back. I look at my Apple Watch, and it's 1.61 by the time we made it to John Lake, the way there. So there were some detours because we didn't just read the trailhead map.
It's a simple, basic thing. Read the trailhead map.
So just, recommendations as you re-enter nature at a different season because not everyone wants to go hiking in summer because it's too hot. They want to do the fall or winter. So remember, dress like an onion in layers.
Thank you, Jerry.
Yes, in layers. You still need snacks. You always need snacks, whether you're outdoors or not. Bring plenty of water. And then remember, snow's not here yet, but it's coming.
Yeah.
It's going to be in the mountains any day now. You need to know that snow is difficult to maneuver in. And
it's like a sand almost, like a quicksand.
So while you're out there this coming season recreating, the same rules apply. Just because it's not summer doesn't mean you can start acting crazy out there.
Nope.
Okay? Have a plan, have a backup plan, know your limits.
Yep.
And be prepared. And we're always here to help answer any questions that you have while outdoors.
To the best of our ability. Please do not expect an expert answer on everything.
I know. I had these guests in last week, and they sat down. And I was still standing at the Montana state map. And they ran me through. She's like, well, you have some homework questions. And I'm like, are you coming back? Please don't come back.
I'm worried.
Goodness.
I got a call today, and it was about the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center.
Okay.
And it was, is the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center ran by the U.S. Forest Service? I said, it is. And is that program part of the Department of Interior? I don't know where Forest Service lies, and so I pull it up real quick. I'm like, nope, that's part of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Huh. Well, I suppose I'll still come visit it. Thank you.
Everyone has qualifiers, Rebecca.
I guess. I'm not quite sure by what department the Forest Service is run out of, why you would or would not visit the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center, but there you go. If that was a qualifier for you that are listening,
then now you know.
Department of Ag, you're free to come. Not Department of Interior.
So we have some qualifiers to share with our call to artist.
Yes.
because one of our plans in this newly renovated space that we're going to move to at 15 Overlook Drive is to have a picture opportunity.
Let me start by saying we're creating some walls in this space. The space has been... So the history of this space is at some point in the early 90s, maybe late 80s, I'm not quite certain, the city constructed a building at 15 Overlook Drive. It was stunning at the time, and it was 100% just to be used for guest services, which is a component of our operations today. Except it has no offices, and so for all of us to do what we continue to do as an organization, we need to do some renovation up there so that everyone can be accommodated in that space. But with that, we've added a bunch of walls. Now, most of the walls we have already designated for a specific purpose or display or idea, and it'll have stuff on it. But this wall, this one particular wall, we've left blank for this dream we have.
And as you know, Rebecca and I dream big. You can listen
Huge.
to previous episodes where we say ideas that we want to come into fruition. But this one is, for sure. And it's all up to you. We have a blank wall and we want a mural on it.
Or some type of
Art. But it's going to be directly on the wall.
Right.
And normally I would say that's enough information.
But it is not.
No, because if I go to an artist or talk to a creative person, hey, I want a mural on this wall. It's going to be near a seating area. And I want people to take a picture in front of it. I want it to motivate the millennials. Heck, other generations can do it too.
Yeah.
But we know this is what it's geared toward, and that's how retail spaces change. Restaurants have changed. So we're changing too from the 80s. And we want it to be this beautiful piece of art where people are like, oh my goodness, I want my picture in front of it. Because you go to other communities, Las Vegas, there's a Las Vegas sign that people wait in line to take a picture of.
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Indianapolis has the you put the I in Indy.
Yes. And what are the other ones? I was thinking of some.
Philadelphia has the I love...
Philly.
No, the I heart something.
Okay. Oh, the Angel Wings in Nashville.
There we go.
These are all places that you guys have seen in your friends' posts, your Instagram posts, like, hey, I went to this city and I took the cool photo.
You seek this spot out because then you know you've made it.
Yeah. And it's your chance to make a repeating photo creative.
Correct.
So we want this space in the visitor center. And we want someone to create it.
We also want, if you're not like in the Great Falls market, that's fine. You're sitting here thinking, well, number one, I'm not creative. Number two, I live in Nashville, Tennessee or Columbus, Ohio. I don't care where you live. You can still have ideas and share them with us.
Please.
Now, Monty showed me a picture of a moss wall, which was a really cool feature.
Yes.
So don't just limit your dreams
to paint.
to paint.
Yeah, because it was living moss. If it's supposed to be maintained somehow. The woman told me a little bit of background about it. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not ready to accept details on it yet because I have my daughter with me. So we want something beautiful to stand out there.
But you've also got an idea that you want a specific feature somehow embedded in this piece of art.
Is it the neon sign?
No. No.
Well, I thought maybe we can incorporate the falls.
Yeah. Now, I may have to put my foot down if someone comes up with a live water feature, only because I'm nervous about mold,
Insurance.
structural damage to a building I do not own. That's probably it.
Well, it's like
Those are
having-
the two big things.
Well, it's like having a bubbler. They can go, or a water fountain. They can go crazy.
They can.
So I don't know if it's a running water feature. It's up to you people. We dream big. But I printed out a request for a proposal from a different community on how they ask artists to do a mural for them.
Oh.
I was like, oh, what a
You
great...
did research. That's awesome.
No. They did the research.
You found it.
These are questions that I really wouldn't have thought to ask. So we have to decide if we want the actual artist to be a Great Falls artist
Ooh.
or if we're going to take feedback or ideas from Columbus, Ohio and have it applied locally by someone.
You know, my dream is to have it be a Great Falls artist, because then we can say, this is the person who did it, and we'll know them, and we can bring them in on random occasions.
Yes. Okay. So we thought that. So we're going to have a Great Falls artist. You need to be local.
Yes.
We want you, you don't have to be born here, but you need to live
No,
here.
you need to live here. You need to know what this community is about.
And that's another qualifier for this proposal or an ask is we want them to say what they think this mural, how it will better the space in Great Falls and the tourism.
Oh,
or
that's
our
awesome.
cover of the book, if you will. Because if you're going to tell me your art, I need to know why it's the best one out there and why we should pick you. We're obviously going to want some references.
What does a reference for an artist look like? Like a portfolio?
A portfolio and maybe another, if they did work with a different company, can I call them up and ask how it was? Like,
Did they take direction? Did they take input? Did they start on time? Did they finish on time?
Yeah, I mean, I understand time can go left or right on a project. That's fine. I mean, we want it to be more left than right, but earlier than later. But we want to be able to know, like, did the organization tell the artist, I want this moss water feature with fireworks? And the artist is like, no, this does not meet the intent. You were crazy. I need to know that the artist knows what they're doing. They have the ability to say no to me, but can understand when they should say yes.
And give us the reason why it's a no.
Yes.
It's easier for us to swallow when we get told, no, you can't have that.
And
Well, why? And it's usually because, well, you don't have enough money to make that happen. I was like, oh, okay.
so money,
I'm okay. Oh,
that's another thing.
right. Segue into money.
Yes.
How much are we going to pay for this?
Ideally, we would pay for supplies and the artist would donate their time
Yeah.
if it falls within their original idea. If it takes a lot more work than they initially anticipated, then we can renegotiate the contract. It's not really something we want to get into, depending on ideas. But hey, we're asking for a donation to our visitor
Cause.
center. I don't know if you guys knew, but moving is expensive.
Did you? Putting in an HVAC vent is expensive.
But we are getting updated water fountain
Yeah.
and new carpet and walls and data ports. So we need to spend our money where
We can keep operating.
exactly. So while we want this mural, I don't think I can necessarily ask my boss for a check request for $1,000 million mural, how much ever you're going to cost.
But the other component of that is the person needs to be able to work indoors.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because a lot of times these large format pictures are usually done outside, and we need them done in a confined space. And we'd love to be able to promote that you're doing it.
and have people watch.
Yes.
Great
Which is
content.
unnerving. We understand that.
Well, it could be asked after they get their projector out and they trace it
Right.
and they do the grid.
We can discuss when we start viewing.
Don't worry, I got you. I got you. But we would definitely want to promote and say, hey, this week we are having artist name here on a few hours to stay in that and
Yeah.
come and check it out. You know, get the behind the scenes photos. Maybe even whisper in the artist's ear.
Ooh.
Who knows? You can ask the artist to do an Easter egg, which is another thing we want.
Ooh. Will people get to donate and then say, this is what I'd like included in there? And then if we select the idea, we keep your money. And if not, we refund it? No?
Or we just keep the money. But we could have people submit Easter eggs ideas. I mean, how cool would that be?
That'd be fun because Charlie Russell did it.
Yeah, we
Well,
love.
I don't think you could just like a, dueling piano, make a suggestion for a song type thing for Charlie, but that's what I think we could do here.
So far we need a local artist who has references, not only a portfolio, but maybe a business that we could contact, and
The ability to work inside, not out.
ability to work inside and outside, and and have reasonings for no, like the
It's okay to
ideas.
tell us no.
Yes. And
Did we measure how big this wall is?
I tried to while we were visiting the space today, and I would say it's 7 feet wide.
Okay.
I
I would say maybe 8. I think your offices are 8 by 9,
Okay.
but I could be lying.
Maybe 8 feet wide, but it does go all the way to the ceiling.
Yep.
So we would want a minimum of an 8 by 8.
Yep.
So if you have an idea that makes it larger or it goes all the way to the ceiling, that's great if you can incorporate that, but we don't want to force a piece.
Because we can also, my dream, add a shelf and put all of our awards and thank yous on the top of it.
We're not doing that. She's joking. We would never do that to your art. Ever. But we also do want to have a neon sign on the wall that says Great Falls, Montana.
Yeah.
Okay? It's gonna
So whatever artwork it is, keep that in mind that there's probably going to be a neon sign in the center of that wall that says Great Falls, Montana.
people need to know where they are.
They do.
Okay? And if you want that sign, that neon sign, to do something else with your art, let us know.
Incorporate it. Tell us. I mean, because it hasn't been bought yet.
Yeah.
It hasn't even been priced out yet.
So people can create our dream mural or piece of art. We need to let them know a little bit more about Great Falls, Montana tourism, what we want, and what our visitors, expect.
Okay.
We at Great Falls, Montana Tourism want you guys to have an authentic Montana experience for independent outdoor adventurers. We believe that we are one of the few places you can still get rich, vibrant culture and also know and experience our history.
All in a community that is very welcoming, and the people are excited to share their town with you.
We just hosted a convention here last week, and the feedback from these professionals was, wow, we've never been welcomed by a community or talked to like we're an actual person before at these events. So just know that our community, we're opening and 80% of our visitors will return because of, guess what?
Us.
Community.
They love us. We are a base camp to a lot of adventures, and we've mentioned this before. You have the Little Belt Mountains, the Highwood Mountains, the Rocky Mountains. There's only the one. There was an additional there. We've got the Missouri River, the Sun River, the Smith River to the south of us. You've got so much opportunity for outdoor recreation again in the Great Falls, Montana area that we want that to be reflected.
It does not have to match the murals that we have downtown.
Nope.
Might say don't match the murals that are downtown. Make it your own.
Right. And the big thing about the murals downtown is each artist comes with their vision. Mm-hmm. What we're asking is for you to create a vision based on the space we're going to be in and the organization we are.
And the visitors that come into our office, they expect information and inspiration for while they are here in our town, whether that be for 4 hours or for 4 weeks.
Correct.
Honestly, I think the easy thing to do for an artist would to be base it around the falls. And you know what? That might be the right answer depending on your
style. But if you also want to put some wood branches and moss with rocks and create some type of interesting cutout where the river would be, tell us that too, because that could be extremely cool. We can come up with ideas, and as the podcast says, we're not experts. Certainly not when it comes to art.
No.
We can do the, yeah, we like that, or it's not really our thing. That's the extent of our art experience.
We want it to be beautiful, okay? So I don't need questionable art, okay? So this would then be another qualifier that would be nothing political.
Nothing obscene.
Nothing obscene. Family friendly. Vibrant. Nothing like black and white.
When you walk in and see this, it'll be the feature wall of the of the space, we want people to go, oh,
And
wow.
And you can see it from the front doors entering
Yep.
in.
Yeah, we didn't pick
We're not hiding it.
we didn't pick a wall that nobody's going to see.
No, everyone.
We're not going to say, oh, yeah, and then we got this mural done by this person. It was a good first try. No,
Then we put the curtain back over it.
this is the prominent wall. The feature thing you see when you walk into our office is going to be this wall.
Not only are we begging our guests to come into our space and see everything that we have by this wall, but we also are going to have a pathway on the carpet
Oh, yeah.
that will lead people through this space. Because we are putting up these walled offices, which are just 3, people still might have a little bit of hesitancy to make their way to the back of the office space where the windows open up to see the city.
Now, we just undersold that
I know.
by quite a bit. They're not floor to ceiling windows, but the entire back wall of this space is windows, to include a cornered window, a window with a corner in it.
Yes. That you're supposed to be able to see some historical.
We're going to have to figure that out before we move.
We were told the answer a while ago. We just did not remember.
Didn't write it down.
Wasn't on the test.
So as you look out from this space, you'll see the Missouri River. You'll see all of the community. You'll see our downtown. You'll see Hill 57 in the background. You'll see the airport if you twist just correctly.
Okay.
So you can see Great Falls from this location.
And immediately in front of all those, you can see the deck. Because we
Yes.
have a wraparound deck.
Yes, we do. We have a beautiful wraparound deck.
It's going to be an awesome space, and we want you to help us fill it with beautiful, beautiful art. So we want to make sure that you are a professional when you come to be the artist for the project. And we're not putting necessarily an age restriction on it.
Nope.
But if you are a minor, we'll have to talk to your parents. So
Yep. And as we've learned, some people who say they're not artists can make amazing cloud buffalo.
come on, Joan.
I think someone's calling your name.
Is she really going to submit something? She's not going to listen to this one. She's like, turn it
No.
off. I'm not submitting anything.
But that does beg the question, how does one apply? Do they just show up here one day and say, I got this idea? Is there going to be a deadline for when they have to apply?
We are going to submit or release this podcast, and on our show notes, it's going to have the form to submit an application. And on that form, you'll include your name, basic contact information, and that's where you'll answer a little bit about your vision for the piece, a portfolio or past work if you have any to share with us.
If it's possible, because we're visual people, a small sketch would be great.
I would love that too.
And it doesn't have to be good, because we just sketched out cabinetry for our builder guy.
And he kept it. So he liked it so much he kept it.
He did say the doors are a little small. I'm going to have to make them bigger. And we're like,
Fine.
yeah, it's not drawn to scale.
No, obviously. But yeah, if you can include a sketch of what you're thinking for this space, or if you want more information before you even include your sketch, you can always give us a call
Right. We're happy to talk to you anytime.
before you even submit. So,
Right.
And even if you submit one week and you think of something else, another,
Add an addendum.
ta-da!
This isn't a government request for proposal.
No.
This is a fun request for proposal.
So it is the 20th while we're recording. We're releasing this September 24th, and we're going to do some pushes on it. We're going to ask our tourism members to share this call for action from artists. What's the proper terminology?
Call for artists.
Call for artists. There we go. We're going to be pushing this next week. So we are going to give people 3 weeks.
Ooh.
Is that long enough? Until October 21st? We can always change the date later.
We sure can.
So
We could extend it, but if you're a Johnny on the spotter, October 21st.
get your stuff to us.
And if nobody likes us and nobody wants to submit any art to us,
We're doing it ourselves, and it's your fault.
yes. And then that's going to be the showcase. People will walk in and they'll be like, oh my God, what happened to this wall? I'm like, hey,
It's a self-portrait that Rebecca and I did of ourselves.
we really think we can be experts in anything as long as we try. And this is our effort at trying to be an artist.
We didn't even get a participation trophy for this work. So
No.
we're going to keep it open for about 3 weeks. So October 21st, get them in. And then we are going to follow up, maybe ask some questions or select right away. And then we can talk contract and get you in the building when we can.
Right.
And then all of your ideas for the piece of art on that wall, they can be done properly. We can have this sign to the right scale.
Right.
And go from there. And then we can have the viewing parties and whatnot.
Because it would be absolutely amazing to unveil that, have a reception, get to talk to the person, get you to showcase to your other art if you have it. We can put up some easels
Yeah.
with some pictures.
Because we are going to have a opening welcome party at the new visitor center, and your piece of art will be the last thing done.
Yeah.
So that will be the unveiling of it, and we'll need you there.
Yep.
And we can hang a few pieces in there for you. That's no problem.
Not at all.
And then what kind of bragging rights do you get?
Can you imagine walking around and you won't be the only one bragging about this building. You'll be in an elite group of people who are going to walk around. The guy who's handling our countertops up there, he's pretty excited about the countertops. He's going to walk around and go, yeah, I did the countertops at the visitor or the Great Falls, Montana Tourism's office. And you, as an artist who does the mural, get to do the same thing. You and the counter guy can walk around going, yeah, we got featured at the Great Falls, Montana Tourism office.
Another claim to fame. Rebecca, why don't you ask people during the interview process, are you comfortable with being on TV? Because I think this year alone, I've been interviewed by the news 6 or 8 times just this year.
Yeah.
And you?
2,
No.
I think.
I have a list. It's more than 2.
Oh, okay.
But they come to our office.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's right. And this would be the perfect place. It took me a while to catch on to what you were hinting at, but I got there.
so if we are interviewed
We would do it right in front of that space.
right in front of the mural, because our offices are not always perfect and clean. Sometimes there are
Nope.
papers upon papers out,
Mostly at mine office.
binders, just water bottles. I mean, sure, it's a working space, but when the TV comes, I'm like, let's straighten this
Ooh.
up a bit.
We got to look like we've not done anything today.
So we would definitely interview in front of that mural,
Yeah.
and your work would be on the news all the time. So what more like bragging rights?
That would be the best bragging rights ever.
Oh, that's my mural again.
Oh, there it is.
And you don't think the news is going to cover the opening of the new visitor center at 15
Right.
Overlook Drive? How much you want to bet they won't or will? Well, you know what I mean. So that's pretty much what we're saying. We are going to add all of these ask and eligibility requirements on our show notes located at we'renodamnexperts.com. And we'll have our email and our phone number there for you to ask any questions. So you can always give us a call at 406-761
4436.
or send us an email, information at visitgreatfalls.org. And if you have any questions about it, let me know. Because if I'm missing a requirement or something I should ask, let me know. Because once again, I had to Google this from a different community, and they have 9 pages.
That seems a bit much. I know Joan does a call to artists for the traffic signal boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And she does require them to do like a sample. So
Okay.
we could get Joan's call to artists and copy some of that too for the show notes.
Yeah, because there we'll put the accepted installation or materials that you can use, and then we're going to say how we want to share it. So it's going to end up in digital features and on our website and shared throughout. So get thinking now, people.
This is your warning to start thinking creatively and start submitting ideas.
So once again, call to artist for our new office. And if we love you so much, there's another blank wall in the podcast studio at 15 Overlook Drive.
As of today.
So, we don't know what's going to happen, but if you have any other ideas about this space, we can work together on it.
And again, if you're not an artist and you just have ideas of what you'd love to see reflected in an art piece in our offices, send us the ideas. Just at information at visitgreatfalls.org. We'd be happy to see how crazy you guys get with your dreams.
Tell us like the favorite spot where you are traveling, because I know at least from my research on our user-generated content, everyone always takes pictures of Black Eagle Falls and Giant Springs State Park for their visit to Great Falls. But when you visit other communities, what's the picture that we're missing? What's the iconic spot so that we get some ideas? What do you want to see here? Because it's not going to be angel wings. We have dragonfly wings by my Dragonfly Dry Goods.
They're already here. They're downtown.
So get thinking, and we are so excited to see all your ideas. And if I don't get any engagement on this,
holy moly,
there is a certain... Never mind, I'll edit that out.
We can't leak that yet.
Nope.
We really appreciate you listening. We are super excited to share with you the progress of our space and more excited for you to come experience Great Falls and stop by our offices to see us and get to know us and learn a little bit more about the community. So until we see your bright, smiling, happy, shining face here in Great Falls, we hope you're creating amazing memories with your friends and family wherever you are.
Bye-bye.
We're No Dam Experts is the recorded claims from Great Falls, Montana, covering what you need to know about this amazing damn town. Damn, that felt good.
On the next episode of We're No Dam Experts, Rebecca and Maddie share with you everything they know about the secret hunting spots near Great Falls, Montana. We're No Dam Experts is produced by Great Falls, Montana Tourism with original music by the best damn musician, Joel Corda.